I can hear you there, Mark. Were you talking to Alexa?
Yes, sorry, I'm setting up the lights. And the camera is about to come online. Let me see. There you go. Hey!
There we go. There he is. How's it going, Mark?
Very good. Kai, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm in the office, as you can see here.
Me too, right? This is a virtual background. None of this.
Yeah, you got a little bit more soundproofing than I do, I guess. Right on. Well, I'm going to do a quick introduction here just to kind of give a couple of updates for 4.5. And then I'm going to hand over the reins to you. And you'll talk to us about importing Cartoon Animator stuff into After Effects, which is one of the cool new features of 4.5. So I'm just going to share my screen really quick here before we get down to business. Let's just share the whole thing here. All right, so this is the outline for today's webinar. Mark will probably give you a bit of a summary of this a little bit later on, so you probably are familiar with this. Just no need to really go into details there. Like I mentioned, After Effects pipeline is the main focus. And if you want, you can find Mark in the Certified Trainers on the Education site. I want to promote our education site here really quickly. We have a number of different certified trainers from all over the world. I think, Mark, you're right there, coming to us from Mexico. So I'll throw the link in this chat window for you guys here, so you can check this out on your own time later on. Where is the chat window here? There we go. Oops. Why does it always hide on me? Okay, let's see here. Oh, there we go. So this is the link I'm going to throw in the chat window for you guys. You can check out the education site. If you are a student or a teacher as well, I highly recommend checking out our education site. You can email us, get in touch to get educational discounts on our software and everything like that. And of course, you can find Mark there if you're looking for more personalized training and stuff. Feel free to check that out as well. All right, next tab here. Just so you know, we have a special right now going to June 30th. For Cartoon Animator 4.5, you get Movavi Video Suite 2021 lifetime version as a bonus with Cartoon Animator 4 with a purchase right now. You can check all this out on the store. Movavi is a really good video editing software that's, you can do a lot of stuff with it. Webinar, you can do screen capture, casting, and all sorts of stuff. You can learn more about it at this page here. I'll throw this in the chat window there as well, if it'll pop up this time. There we go. Okay, so you can check that out on your own time as well. And as always, we have the weekly special in the content store, which in this case is for iClone. But check back every Wednesday. We're going to have we have new stuff coming out every Thursday, I guess. In this case, we have new stuff coming out. Yeah, and as always, we are going to be talking about After Effects and Cartoon Animator 4 here. I'm going to hand the reins over to Mark in just a sec. We will have a Q&A at the very end of our webinar today. So if you have any questions, you want to learn more about the pipeline, you can ask either me or Mark here. Put those in the Q&A section there, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And we are recording this for posterity as well. So make sure we'll send you out a link a little bit later on for you to review on your own time. All right, so I think I'm going to hand the reins over to you, Mark. We'll go ahead and give you the screen here and get started. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
All righty, perfect. Okay. So I still see your screen.
I'll have to stop sharing here.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so let's get it started. What we're gonna learn today is how to take that extra step of doing a little animation, a really quick animation, and then getting it from looking okay to giving some cinematic look to it. So it looks way cooler and more people are more attracted to your YouTube channel or whatever project you're doing, right? So I'm gonna start sharing my screen to start and show you the end result we're looking for today, okay? I'm gonna start, oh, by the way, I'm gonna change the resolution of my computer really quick, just so it's, let me change something in here. Is resolution, just so it's more friendly. Uh-huh. Wait, give me just a second right here. This one is going to be 1920 by 1080. Keep changes. All right. Yeah, so I think this is a better resolution for everyone, right? Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is we're going to get to this. Let me just open a video. And this is an or a video that I did. Let me just download that later. So this is an animation that I'm gonna show you how you can do this really fast in Cartoon Animator, right? It's just a ninja that jumps, gets into the scene and then jumps out. Okay, so this looks okay. There's a little bit of cinematography. The camera has a little bit of dolly in, but we can take this and then add some effects to it. And look at that. Ooh, now it's more mystical. Now the character, as you can notice, it has a shadow. It has moonlight, a rim light around her, some moonlight going through the trees. So this is the previous one. And then we're gonna see the makeover we're gonna do today. This. Can you notice? Hopefully you can see the
Oh, hey,
difference. Okay.
Mark. It looks
Yeah.
like some people aren't seeing your screen here.
Oh, which
I can
screen
see your
was it?
screen, but I guess some
This
other
one?
people weren't able to see it.
Oh,
Can you
maybe
guys see
maybe
in the chat
it's
window if you can see his scene or see his screen right now? Okay, now someone can see VLC. Okay,
okay,
now it's okay.
perfect.
Yep. All good.
I can't see. Okay, I can see the scene now. Perfect. Let me play it again then. This is the version animated in Cartoon Animator. And this is with some tune-ups. Look at that. To make it look more cinematic, right? Again, this is the color correction and everything is like, yeah, everything is not mixing correctly. And now this looks like a real place. She's actually there. She's not jumping out of the screen. She's belongs there, right? Okay, so we're gonna be doing all of that, and I'm going to be going really fast through all the steps. And if any of you have any questions, I have a free course that guides you step by step through each of the steps that you're gonna see me doing, going really fast because on the webinar the time is constrained, and guys, we want to answer as many questions as we can from you, right? So let's jump in to Cartoon Animator. Where are you, Mr. Cartoon Animator? There you are. Okay, and I'm going to just close this really quick, and I'm just to prepare this for one screen. Where's the default? All right, there you go. Now I have a little bit more space. Perfect. I can close this, and now I can go to Cartoon Animator. All right, so in here, what we're gonna do is just start with a simple character. I'm going to add a character. For that, you go to the content manager right there. If you don't see it, you can just press F5, right? And then in here, I'm going to go to actor, and then character. And for this example, I'm going to use the 360 character. Is going to be human, and it's going to be the character red. This one, side 2. In the course, I use this one, but I'm gonna show you that whichever side version you pick, it works perfectly. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, so I have the character right here. Everything is very simple. Now, as you saw in the animation, she runs from left to right. And right now she's looking to the other side. Now, this is what I love about Cartoon Animator. They make everything so easy. All I do is click on the horizontal flip. There you go. Now she's looking to the correct side, to the correct side of the screen. And now I'm going to add the little animation. It's very simple. I just go to the template motion is going to be G3 human. And then let me open this, and then it's Turner's side. And then it's going to be run fast. This is this one. This is the one that I like. run fast, start. Then she starts running, and then the loop. I just double click. Look at this. Double click, and now she's running. And finally, she stops right here. And from there, after she stops, I want her to jump. Now, when you take the free course, you're gonna see that I have a motion prepared for you already. So I can just take that and drop it into her. That's it. Okay, so now we have a little animation right here. Really simple. I'm going to, this is the timeline. I'm just going to go to the very beginning, or I can also click here. This is frame 1. I press play, and then she is there, and then she jumps. Now there's a problem in here. Let me open the timeline right here, show timeline, and then click on motion. You're gonna see that I have all the clips that I inserted right here. And then this is the one that I created, and it's a customized one, right? This is where she jumps. So as you can see from here, when she's stopping to here, there's like a little click that looks really bad, right? This looks weird. So what we're gonna do is do a very beautiful transition. All I do is select this clip and then put my mouse in here. At the edge, you can see how the cursor changed, and then click and drag and extend it a couple of frames. And now there's going to be a transition. Look at how smoothly it goes from here. Ooh, beautiful, right? And everything with a couple of clicks and drags. As you notice, I'm not going in and then fixing everything. No, once I have the motion clips, I can work really fast. That is something really cool about Cartoon Animator. Okay, so we have this, and then she jumps. Now we just need to have her jump. And for that, I'm going to select, actually, first I want to end this animation, because if I play, this is going to be playing until the end of time. We don't want that. I want to change the duration of my animation, and it's going to end on frame around here. After she jumps, she's going to jump outside of the screen. And around frame 163, I'm going to click on the settings right here, and it opens the project settings. And instead of 2000 frames, I'm going to change it to this number, 163. Then press OK. Look at that. Now my timeline is smaller. Perfect. So now we have this animation, and then it's going to end. She's gonna be outside of the screen by that time. All right. So now let's find where she jumps, right? She is jumping, let's see, around, I'm going frame by frame. Right now, what I'm pressing is the arrow keys, right? To the right, to the left. So I'm going to put this for where she is jumping here, right? Right there. Okay. Now, in there, I'm going to add a keyframe for when she's in this position. For that, I am on motion. I'm going to hide the motion. I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to show transform, and I'm going to double click in here. And then you're gonna see, I'm going to move this a couple of frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 frames. And then she's gonna go outside of the screen. Let me zoom out. For this, I'm pressing Alt. Oh, let me bring the annotations here so you can see what I'm pressing. Alt, and then both clicks, right? In here is showing only left button, but I'm actually pressing both clicks. This is a quick way to do it, right? And if you don't have, if you have like a mouse pad or something, you can also use this, the camera zoom, right? It fulfills the same role, and then go back to this one. So anyway, let me zoom out. And then I want her to be in this same trajectory. This would look wrong, because look at this angle and look at the angle of the body. It's wrong. It has to be aligned like this, right? So she's going to jump very far away. Let's see, it's going to be around there. Now let's see from here. she jumps. Boop. Okay, let me bring this a little closer, probably in here. Okay, yes. Now, the transition curve, we're going to change it from linear. I just right click and then click on transition curve. And then from linear, I'm going to use decelerate. That should work better. Let's see. Ah, now it feels more like a ninja. I'm extending this a little bit by just clicking and dragging. This is changing the timing. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Let me go to the beginning. Then she's running. She stops. There you go. Very good. Okay, so we have a character animation and it took us what, like 3 minutes? So now what we're gonna do is add a background and add everything so she belongs to a scene. All right, so let's do that. For that, I'm going to, you will have access to all of this if you go to if you get this free course. And I provide all of this. And look, it's very easy. I have only 4 elements that compose the scene. I just click on the background and then click and drag into Cartoon Animator just like that. And I'm going to add it not as a background, but as a prop, right? So I clicked on prop. We're just waiting for this. And this one, as you can see, is covering the, the character. We don't want that. And the thing to know about a Cartoon Animator is that it has a 3D space. So right now we have the character right here, and the other thing, let me take like a sheet of paper. The other is right here, and what we want is to take that and put it behind the character, way behind. So that 3 dimensionality is built in Cartoon Animator, which is pretty cool. And then let me share. Yes, this is everybody seeing Cartoon Animator, right? So for that, I can just click on this little arrow and look at that. I'm not making it smaller. I'm putting it behind. Look, I'm moving the camera around and it's behind. All right. So this this background, I'm going to put it around, maybe not too far. Let's see. I believe in there would work just right. Okay, so I'm going to put it here, and then actually I'm right now, later I'm going to be positioning the camera. Again, let me just tell you what I'm doing to move the camera. I'm pressing Alt and then just click and drag, and just like that. Now, if any of you don't have the mouse like this and you're using a trackpad, you can also click on this, the camera, or just press X and then the Z to move like this. And then if you want to go back to the move tool, just click the select tool, just select it from there, right? So the character, I'm positioning the background to where she's going to be jumping from, and it's going to be from around there, around here. Okay, so from there she goes out of the scene, and then I just move the scene a little bit like this. Okay, so now let me make this a little bit smaller to fit the camera. Oops, I don't want to rotate. Just like that. And now I'm going to add the other elements. I'm going to take the left tree. I just click and drag into Cartoon Animator and then add as a prop. There you go, right here. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add the other one on the right as a prop too. Now, right now, if I zoom in, this doesn't look very interesting because all of the objects, let me change, I'm going to switch to this view, the 3D view. All the objects are pretty close together. We don't want that. I want this to be closer to the camera like that, right? Let me disable it. And when they are like that, it's giving a little bit more depth, right? So for this, let's make sure I'm on frame 1 when I'm positioning all of that. I'm going to scale this down a little bit to around, maybe around there, probably a little bit more. And then take this one, oops, this one, also make it smaller. And just, I'm trying to make it fit on the corner of this screen, right? Right here. Okay, around there, maybe a little bit smaller. And now it's adding more and more depth, right? Let me bring them even more. Oh, I want a lot of depth, so I'm bringing them even closer to the camera, like this. Let me make them smaller. It has to fit the screen right here, like this. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. Let me show you. After I position this, I'm going to move the camera just so you can see the effect and the depth of it. Look, there you go. Now look at this. Now it's a little bit more immersive. That is because from this view, oops, damn, let me just go back. Can I undo that? Well, luckily I have it selected here. And then I can move this around to 0 and then 0. Let's see what's happening. There you are, found you. And then this has to be, oops. This has to be, let me just click here. Now around there. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Quick fix. Let me tell you, because this can happen to you. Whenever you lose an object, one thing you can do is select it on this very handy scene manager. And then I just restarted all the position to 0 so I could find it, and it positioned it on the center of the screen. That is super, super useful. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is add an extra little detail in between the trees and the background. And that is going to be this grass. It's going to be at the bottom of the screen, right here, right? Let me make it a little bit smaller, and we're gonna bring it closer. Let's see, this one is, I'm trying to select the tree on the left, on the right. Okay, it's around 1200. So this one, I'm going to put it in, not in size, sorry, in the z-axis. I'm getting it closer, and for precision, I'm looking at this number right here, 400, and it's going to be around the middle, which is around 600. Very good. Now this is going to add a little bit more depth into the scene. I'm gonna put it probably there. Let me remove this a little bit. Look at that. Yes, this is giving the depth that we need for this. Okay, so let's leave it there. And now what I'm going to do is reposition this character a little bit. I don't want her to end in that position. She's going to land in here, around there, right? Not only that, but as you can see, if I select the character, I want to edit only her and hide everything else in the timeline. How do I do that? For those of you who know, there's this really handy tool, that object related track. Just click on it and it hides everything, and it only shows whatever you have selected. So with that, I'm going to select transform, and then this keyframe, I'm going to press Ctrl+C to copy it, then go to this other one and paste it so it's that same place. And then I just need to change a little bit of the trajectory in here. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So I moved the whole character a little bit to the side. Let me set up the camera. This is not the actual camera. This is the working camera. For those of you who don't know, this is when I click here, now this is the actual scene camera that we're gonna be using and animating at the end, right? And we are almost finished. Now all I'm going to do is take this character outside of the screen, right? So let me take this. I'm going to take this character, and she's going to be outside the screen holding shift. If I hold shift, she goes outside the screen. If I don't hold shift, she can go a little bit up and down, right? But if I hold shift, Now the movement is constrained horizontally. Perfect. Now I could leave it like this, but this is weird. I think we all agree that sliding in the forest is not particularly natural. So what I'm going to do is have her outside and then see the animation for when she stops. I'm going to remove the trees a little bit, this one, so I can see her. And also I'm going to remove the background a little bit. You can hide and show elements from the scene manager. If you are on content manager, just click on scene manager and you can hide objects in there. What I'm looking for in here is the exact frame where she is starting to stop. I think right here, frame 55. All right. So this is where she's going to arrive to. Where's her position? Transform. Wait. Oh, it's because I have the tree selected. Let me select red, the character red. It was from position 56. Okay, so I'm going to select this one, this position, copy, and then paste it in frame 56 right there. So as you can see, she's runs and then she arrives here, right? Now, she's going to start running on this. Let me see. She's going to be frame. Okay, it's going to be probably around here. I'm ignoring how she's moving and I'm paying attention to how she moves in the animation. So as you can see, she hasn't started running. She starts running from here, right? Then she starts taking the first step. So she shouldn't move for all this duration from frame 0 to this one, frame 16. She shouldn't move. Let me take this, copy it, and then go to frame 16, paste. There you go. Now she doesn't move and then whoop, she runs. Look, this makes a little bit more sense, but after playing, she's kind of sliding. So what I'm gonna do is just take this and bring her a little bit back. And I'm just playing with that distance until I feel like she's running more realistically, right? That kind of looks good. Let me show you. If she's like this, she's going to be sliding. Can you see? And if she's too far, let me put her. Actually, that one also looks good. All right. Maybe I'm going to leave that one. Okay. And also I'm going to just copy this keyframe and paste it over here on the first one. There you go. Now, because I was using the camera recording, I also added a couple of keyframes for that. Don't worry, this is very easy to fix. All I do is click on track list, select on project, and then click on camera and just take this and delete it. There you go. Now I'm going to bring these two again, background forest on the scene manager on the right here, it's the scene manager, and then I click here. Then let's play the animation. She enters and then she flies away. Very nice. Now let's set up the camera movement. I'm going to set the first position. Let's go to frame 1. I'm trying to delete this keyframe. Go to frame 1 and then set up the camera shot that I want for this, which is going to be around here. And then at the end, the camera is going to start moving forward a little bit just to give that sense of depth, right? Let's see if that's enough. I'm going to play it. Now I want more aggressive movement. Let me go to the end, then go even further in, right? Put this a little bit up, then go back, hit play. We can do a little bit better. Let me go to the end and then zoom in even more. And as you can see, animation is like this, trial and error. I like this. This is the speed that I like. Then she jumps out. Let's play it again. She enters the scene and then she jumps outside. There you go. So as you can see, right here, she will not be in the screen because this little frame represents the screen. I'm going to show you how this looks. Look, as you can see, this is the animation. And right now, she's outside that frame. That's why we cannot see her. We see her only after. The same is happening in here. She's outside of the camera, right? Now, I want to change the aspect ratio here really quick. Render video. I'm not going to render, but it's just so I can prepare everything. Instead of this one, the widescreen, the aspect ratio I want is HD. There you go. That one. Okay, perfect. Now let's play it. Awesome. Now she jumps away. Perfect. So we have the animation. Let me do a render. And for that, actually, no, we're not going to render this animation. What we're going to do is export it into After Effects and then do really cool stuff in there. Let me export. You just click there. And right now I didn't record any voice. If you want, you can select now this is something new. You can export it as a MOV transparent video. I'm gonna leave it as a PNG sequence. It's just a personal preference. And then I'm going to use the HD 1080. And then I'm going to export it. Let's export. And I'm going to go to here. Those are some tests. Export 4. You can export it to any folder you want. And the project is going to be Ninja Run Forest. Now it's exporting. The thing that takes the most time is the animation. This is the actual animation of red, and then everything else is going to render in a snap, right? There you go, very fast, and then it opens here. So this file is the one that we are going to import into After Effects, all right? So I'm going to now go to After Effects, and before anything else, it's a good idea to save often. So let me save this project, and this is from another project that I was working on, and then I'm just going to call this Ninja Run Forest webinar. All right. Perfect. And after saving, now I'm going to go to After Effects. Let's go there. This After Effects, and actually this window should be here. And now I'm going to go to Window and then select the Cartoon Animator After Effects script. You should have this one. This is another version, but this is the one that works perfectly. And then import project. And then that one was on here. Ninja Forest. Just find the file you exported. You press OK. There you go. Look at that. In a snap of I didn't get the chance to put my fingers in position to snap it. So it was faster than a snap of a finger. So in here, look at that. We have the whole animation, everything laid out for us. I can take the character. I can take, for example, let me take red, and I can move her around, change a couple of stuff in there. We can go crazy if we want, right? So you can do any adjustments in here. Everything is laid out. Everything is in the 3D camera. Let me just show you. Look, we can rotate the camera and you can see that everything is inside there, right? It's pretty cool. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna change any camera work. I'm going to leave everything as is, but now I'm going to start adding a little bit of effects to all the everything in here, right? The first thing I'm going to do is make the background a little bit blurry, all right? So for that, actually, no, the first effect I want is to add a little blurriness for these trees. Let me just go back to the reference video right here, and is Ninja Run in here, just so you can see what we're looking for. I'm looking for this effect, as if I had a cinema lens, like a very cool camera to make movies, And then I have this blurriness, right? When things are out of focus, that makes it feel like, ooh, that's a real camera and those are real trees. So I'm going to add that to here. For that, I go to where it says effects and presets right here. If you in here, I'm just going to type Gaussian blur. Gaussian, there you go. This one. Hello, hello. Is everything good? I just got an announcement like, your internet is stable. So good. The internet connection was unstable, but hopefully I haven't lost you. All good. Okay, thank you. I got the hooray, afraid. Not today, please. Okay, so I'm adding the blurriness in here, and I'm going to change the blurriness to here. Look, I can just click and drag on that number, and it's changing. The number after doing a couple of tests that I liked was 20. This gives me the exact amount of blurriness that I was looking for. And then I can just select this Gaussian blur, press Ctrl C, and then select tree right, and then paste. There you go. Now both of them have the same effect. And then I'm going to select the grass right here and then paste it. But this one, because this is halfway, instead of 20 is going to be 10. There you go. Very nice. Now I'm going to add blurriness to the background, right? Now there's two backgrounds. Let me just show you. There's this forest background, and then there's this other gray background that we don't need. It comes whenever you export a project from Cartoon Animator. So I'm just gonna take this one and delete it. There it is, because this is the one that we're gonna be using. Now on this one, again, I'm going to add the same blurriness, all right? And then I'm going to press Ctrl V, right? To paste the Gaussian blur. But this one is also going to be 10, right? Not too much. Now, the problem is that the character, as you can see, the character should be walking in here, and that area should have no blurriness at all. So what can we do? Well, we can use a very cool effect. And instead of putting the Gaussian blur in there, I'm going to create an adjustment layer. For that, you can just go to Layer, New, and then select Adjustment Layer, which in Windows is Control-Alt-Y. That's what I'm going to be using later. Or you can also press Command, I think it's Command-Option-Y on Mac. So just select that, right? And there's my adjustment layer. For the next one, I do prefer to press it like this, Control-Alt-Y, because it's faster. Let me select the ones that I created, press delete. And now on this one, I'm going to add the blur. I press Ctrl-V, and then I change the blurriness to 10, but we're not done yet. We want only parts of it blurred. So I'm going to add a little mask by pressing letter G, right? And that gives me, is the same as selecting the mask, the pen tool right here. With that layer selected, I'm going to put a line, like a little square. And this is the part that is going to be in focus, right? Right now is the contrary. Look at this. Outside of that square is focused and inside is blurred. We don't want that. So to change it, I can just press M, and that brings the mask. And then instead of add, I click there and select the mode to subtract. Now everything, this part looks sharp, and outside that square is blurry. But there's another problem. Let me unselect. There's like a very strong edge between the blurriness. I don't know if you can notice it, but it doesn't look good. We can fix it really fast. If I just press letter F, we get the mask feather, and I'm going to change this and make pick a big number around 400. Look at this. Now there's a very soft feather transition between the blurriness, and the sharp, right? So now it looks really natural. Look at that. These trees on the background look a little bit blurry, but the grass looks sharp. Perfect. Now, what we're gonna do is do a little bit of color correction, because in here, this is the look I'm thinking of, right? Like having everything feel like a cold night. Right now, this feels really warm. We don't want that. I want this is a creative decision. You could make it everything like red, like she's running on hell or something, depending on the fantasy you're working on. In this creation, I wanted to look cold. So for that, I'm going to change the color correction for this character. First, I'm going to switch from the pen tool to the move tool. I just press the letter V, right? Oops. Let me click here. V. There you go. And then in here, I just select the character red right here. And with the character selected, I'm going to change the color a little bit. I select all the text, and instead of the Gaussian blur, I'm going to type hue. And this is the one I want, hue and saturation. Click and drag into the character red, right? And now what I'm going to do is change the saturation just a little bit. Right now, it's too saturated. It doesn't look like she belongs there. So we can just reduce this a little bit, maybe around there. I don't know if you can notice the saturation. Look, this is how it was. I'm pressing on and off. Hopefully you can see, oops, you it's because I was using the same shortcut as in Cartoon Animator. This is without, this is with. Can you see how the saturation changes just a little bit? It's just a tiny bit. Maybe we can go a little bit more, right? Now, now she's starting to mix better with the scene. And now what I'm going to do is on this same layer, I'm going to add some color correction. And my tool, the tool that I like for this is the curves. So I click and drag and put it into the red character, and we get this. Now with the color curves, what I'm going to do is change each one. I'm going to reduce the green, the red, reduce the green, and amplify the blue, right? But very subtly. Look, I just click and drag from the center and bring it down just a tiny bit. And then select the green and also bring it just a tiny bit. And then select the blue and then bring it up just a tiny bit, right? So look at how it looks without and then with, right? Can you notice? Now let's change the levels. I'm going to reduce a little bit more of the red. Let me see. I'm going to reduce it a bit more and then select the green and reduce it a little bit more. I think that works very good. Okay. This is so we can have this, the character combining better with the scene. Without this, let me just select both of these. Without this, this is how it looked originally. And now she's starting to mix better with the background, right? So far, everything is still warm. Later, we're going to change the whole scene. For now, this is okay. And now I'm going to select this character. Let me select, and probably that's going to be very aggressive. Let me just bring this back a little bit, just a tiny bit, and also the blue. This is just okay. I promise not to keep here. This is my perfectionist me getting control. Just a tiny bit. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. The next effect that I like to use here is the levels. Levels. Everything we're doing here is we're doing subtle changes to the character, so she mix better with the, oops, I wanted to press shift and / to zoom out. If I'm right here, for example, and you press shift / it restarts the view. That's what I was looking for. And now I'm going to add a really cool effect. Well, actually, first, let me make a little bit more space in here. And what I want is to change the output here just a little bit. No, actually, the input, let me see. Is this one? No, let's see. Okay. I'm going to, yeah, this one. Just switching this a little bit. No, it's just playing with this. Yeah, this is the one that right now I think she's too bright. So I'm just going to reduce her brightness a little bit by reducing this even more. And now I think she's starting to feel like she belongs here, right? Let me reduce. Okay, right now she's probably going too dark, but bear with me because later I can also bring this a little bit like this. Maybe a little bit up. Aha, there you go. Now I remove the brightness and now she looks like, yes, she is part of this. Look, without all of these effects, let me just show you again. Without all of this is how it was, like too bright, too saturated. And now she looks like she's more being part of that. Now, what we're going to do is add this light sweep. So we can add, let me just show you this rim light around her. Okay. So for that, I take that light sweep, this one, and then click and drag into the character red. And now I'm going to change the direction of the light. Is going to be around there. This is probably like the direction of the light of the moon that I want to use. And right now it doesn't look good, right? We're going to be modifying every single part. Instead of sharp, we're going to change it to smooth, right? To smooth the shape a little bit. And then the width, we're going to increase it. Look at that. We're going to increase it to around where it's covering the whole character right there. Can you see? And now the sweep intensity is going to be reduced all the way to 0. And look at that. Now we are starting to get the rim light, right? Really cool effect. Then the edge density, we're going to reduce it a little bit, right? Right now it's is looking as if it's going like going away. Look, you can control the like how, look at here. All right, I'm moving those numbers, but I can make it really intense or I can make it really soft, and I'm going to leave it around there. And then the edge thickness, I'm just going to make it thicker, right? And it's going to be around there. Now it's thicker. And then the light reception is going to be add right there. But now I believe this is too bright. So we're going to change from a white warm color, and I'm going to just switch to something grayish right there, right? Now this is the look that I wanted. Perfect. Now we have a character that belongs to the scene. And what I'm going to do now is make everything look like night. I'm going to press Ctrl Alt Y, and that created an adjustment layer on top of everything. On there, I'm going to add curves, right? Right here. And then I'm going to change this, and I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to reduce the red, and then reduce. Also, I'm going to reduce the highlight of the red, and then reduce the green a little bit, reduce also the highlight, and then increase the blue and increase the highlight a little bit. And look at that. Now we have something that looks like nighttime. Can you see? Maybe we can even go a little bit further more, lowering this a little bit more. And yeah, look at that. I like it. Very nice. Let me disable it. Can you notice it's subtle, but now it's nighttime? Okay, now let's add some extra effects for the character. When the character runs, I want a shadow following her, right? So for that, it's very easy. All I do is take this animation and then I'm just going to duplicate it by pressing Control D. That's it. Now I have two characters, right? This is what's happening, just so you know. There's two of them, but they are exactly on the same place, okay? Now what I'm going to do is take this one and I'm going to add the shadow. I'm just gonna make it black by going here and then fill on the effects, drop the fill on her right here, and then select this to be black. And everything else, let me just delete all the other effects because we don't need them. Why? Because everything is going to be black. Now, again, right now, this is a duplicate that is totally black. And now what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to also add Gaussian blur. So the shadow is a little bit blurry and it's going to be really blurred, like a lot. It's going to be around over 100. So now there's like this, can you see? It's now starting to look like a shadow. And finally, I want to remove all the previous animation for this one. Let me just show you what I mean for that. I'm going to press letter R and you can see that this has rotation keyframes. Can you see here? All I do is select all of them and remove them right here. Actually also, oh yeah, I'm also going to remove that one. And then all I'm going to do is change the rotation of X and I'm going to rotate it like this. Can you see? And then I'm going to rotate the Z axis a little bit like this, right? Look at that. Now there's a shadow following her, right? Really, really easy. Let me look. Really cool. Now I'm going to lower the opacity because this is like 100% black. And so for that, I just press T and reduce the opacity, clicking and dragging on that number. And I'm going to reduce it around 70 something percent. 71 is okay. Actually, 70, all right. Now let's add, we have the character, we have the shadow. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the cinematic lens effect. For that, I'm just going to add a couple of like this yeah, in the scene, we're going to add like a little bit of shadow around all the lens, right? Let me go back to the demonstration in here is just making the corners a little bit darker so we focus all our attention on her. And also it adds like a little shadow on her. Can you see there's like a little gradient? This part of the skin is a little bit clearer than this one. It's very subtle, but it makes it for very realistic effects. For that, I'm just going to add again another adjustment layer. I select the one on the top and then press Control Alt Y, Command Option Y on Mac. And then on that one, I'm going to add levels right here, levels on that layer, and then reduce the whiteness and reduce it all the way to around here, like a quarter of that bar, right? But now, okay, now everything is super dark. Do you remember how to select only part to be affected? Very simple. You just press G or select the pen tool right here. And this is going to emulate the light that is coming from the moon. Okay, again, I want the contrary. I want everything outside to be affected. So all I do is press M to show the mask path and then change the mask to subtract. And there we go. Now I go to feather and change the feather a little bit. Let's go to around there. Very, very smooth. Look at that. This is how it was. Look, I'm going to This is how it was. And look how smooth it looks. Poof. Can you see? Ah, very, very smooth. Nice. Okay, so we have that. And now let's add a little bit of extra moonlight. For that, I'm going to just I'm going to add, let me show you the effect so you can see where we're going with this. There's like little light rays, very subtle effect of light rays going in here. I don't know if you can spot them, and it looks pretty cool. That's what we're gonna be adding. Let me show you how to do that. You just press Ctrl Y, right? And then I'm going to create a white solid. It's going to be white, and then make it comp size, and then press OK. It's just a white square, right? And then I'm going to press the G, right? The pen tool, and then just select this area like this, right? And then I'm going to lower the opacity right here, press T, lower the opacity to, let me drop it down to around there. And then feather, I'm going to change the feather. I just pressed F and then increase this. Ooh, look at that, to around there, right? Okay, now this is not looking really nice, but this is one of the things that I love about the blending modes. Look, I'm just going to click on the blending, the mode. If you don't see it, you can press F4, or also you can click on the toggle switches and then select from normal to the one that we're gonna use for this one is soft light, this one. Ah, look at that. How it mix, how it's blended very nicely with the scene. Right now, I do see a problem. That light shouldn't be affecting this tree. So very nicely, I can take this one and put it behind that tree, because that tree should be in the dark. This light should only be affecting the background, right? Okay, so that's it for the extra moonlight. Now what we're gonna do is the light rays, and we're gonna be done. Okay, so let's do that really quick. Again, I'm going to create another solid on top of this one. I press, oh, also this one has to be behind the grass. Press Ctrl Y. I'm gonna name it light rays. And actually this one I can press enter and name it moonlight, just so we don't get mixed up. This is the light rays. And the light rays, I'm going to add an effect called fractal noise. This one, fractal noise. Right here, click and drag. And right now it looks like a nebula, right? So the first thing that I want to do is take this, right? And then I'm going to pre-comp. It's like grouping. So I want to remove this effect. I mean, I want this effect to be part of it, but I want to have a clean slate in here. So for that, this is a cool trick. You can just press Ctrl-Shift-C and then make sure you move all the attributes into the new composition, right? And then press OK. There it is. Now, as you can see, this is a whole layer that has all the effects, but we have a clean slate in the effects. Okay, now I'm going to change this, first of all, to soft light. Let's go to soft light right there. And well, actually, I'm going to add this soft light later. Let me leave it on normal. Then I'm going to add an effect called corner pin, this one. And let me change the attributes. I'm going to open. Here's what I did. I just double click here and it opens whatever we had there. And then the fractal noise is going to be changed from basic to swirly right there. And then soft linear is okay. We're going to increase the contrast a little bit. The brightness, we're gonna leave it like that. The overflow is going to be changed to clip. And then the transform, I'm going to open transform and then change the scale. For the scale, I'm also going to open this. And then I don't want it uniform scaling. I want it separate. So the scale width, actually, I can just work with the numbers. The scale width is going to be like this. This is where we're going to start getting that effect. Is going to be like this. Look at that. We're manipulating this. And then this one is going to be all the way out until we have basically some bars, right? Look at that. That's kind of what I'm going to for that. Really nice. This is what we're going to use as the light rays. So after I have that, now I can go back to the Ninja Forest, and now I have those really cool rays. Look, when I change it to soft light, oh, it's looking really nice. Let me go back to normal. And then now I add the corner pin, and what the corner pin allows me to do is to take those and put them in a direction. So look at this. This is now looking like the light rays effect that I was looking for, right? Really nice. So let's leave it like this. And then I'm going to change, I'm going to leave it there. And then I'm going to add a Gaussian blur. Let me just double click here, Gaussian blur, right here to the light rays. And in here, I'm going to really bring the blurriness all the way to around there. Almost 50, oh, almost 50. And then I'm going to change a little bit of the contrast by adding levels. Click and drag in there. And then I'm going to change the output black. This is like too dark and I want to brighten the dark parts. So I'm just bringing this a little bit up, right? To maybe around there, right? And then change to, I have this, I'm going to change now to soft light. So the right here, and look at that. Now we have this ready. I think it's looking pretty cool, but I think it's looking like this is like too much. I'm going to reduce the opacity and I'm going to just reduce it to around there. So we do have it there, but it's not like super obvious, right? Look, this is without and with. Okay, now let's see how our animation looks like. And we're done. Look, right now I'm letting it load into the, actually that feels like too much. Right, I'm probably going to reduce it. And then she jumps away. It's loading everything. And I'm gonna just let it load. And okay, you know what? I'm going to change a little bit the corner pin of this. And I'm going to add, I just want this to be getting more area, just so when she arrives here, she's not getting outside yet, right? Only when she jumps, she gets outside of the moonlight. All right, so that's it. Now we have an animation and you can just render it from After Effects. Okay, so that's it. We got, I think we got in time, 1 hour. Yay.
Yeah, right on.
I was looking at the
Just a
clock.
couple minutes over. It's all good. I've gone much more over than that before, so no worries.
Okay.
Right on. Thanks for that, Mark. That was awesome. Really
You.
learned a lot about After Effects and how powerful it is, and how you can get all your Cartoon Animator stuff over there and just enhance it in many ways. So yeah, let's get to the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, put those questions in the Q&A. Maybe Mark, you can handle the Cartoon Animator technical stuff, and I'll just take care of the Reallusion stuff since you're in Cartoon Animator, I guess.
Okay.
Let's go ahead with the first question then.
Yes.
Can you see the questions as well there, Mark?
Yes.
Or you should be able to.
Yeah, I can.
Right.
From Joseph Malari. I'm gonna read
this
it.
One is related to your. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So, hi, Mark. I have purchased and enrolled in the 2D Animation 101 courses. Yeah, thank you. I noticed that later characters with long skirts seem to have issues, especially when in a sitting position. Okay, is there a way in Cartoon Animator or in After Effects to make the lady characters with long skirts, really interesting questions, be organic looking, especially the lower portion of the skirts when on a sitting position. Okay, Joseph, I can give you how I would do it, and you can take that answer and do whatever you need to do with it. But here's the thing. It depends of the quality you want. And you just need to understand this, Joseph, really quick. If you want better quality and more control, like what you're asking, I want it to look smooth, that only means you're going to invest more time, right? It's usually a decision between time and quality. Do you want it fast? Okay, you can have it fast, but the quality is a little bit lower. Or if you have more time, spend more time on it. Okay, so in Cartoon Animator, what I do is that I tell a story using different shots. I don't go to, okay, instead of having a character like all the time in a full screen and then walking, as you can see, what I just did was an animation of probably like 10 seconds. What was it like? It's very short, right? No, it's really like 5-6 seconds, really short. So it's, I believe it's 8 seconds. But as you can see, that's only one shot. If this was part of a story, probably I would have the character in one shot lowering down, and then in this shot is when she runs and then jumps, and then another shot when she arrives. But I'm not showing the whole thing, right? So answering your question now, I would show a shot where I draw or have someone do the work for me, or find something where the dress looks perfectly natural, right? And then another shot where she stands up. Now I would use the actual one that comes with Cartoon Animator, right? That is if I had more time to invest. So Joseph, I don't know if that's answering your question. I don't know if that was what you wanted to hear, but the thing is, if you want it to look good, just invest more time on it.
I totally agree, Mark.
I actually have an example of a project. So I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, just a quick little sketch, because that one is going to be published later. But I just to show you what I mean with showing everything in different shots. And for this, we invested so much time. Let me just open it really quick. And it was just basically a dancing video of characters dancing. And instead of having one long shot of 30 seconds of showing character dancing, we did like a lot of mini clips. I'm going to show you only 2 of those clips, and you're gonna see that they're very short. I'm not sharing my screen yet. I'm preparing this, so I don't reveal much. And so let me go to here. Yes,
and what you mentioned earlier, Mark, I mean, about it's all about the time you put into it, right?
Yes.
Cartoon Animator is a really fast solution, and people use it for like really quick purposes, like just want to whip up something for my class presentation or something like that. But there's also a lot of tools, more specific tools. If you put a lot of work into it, a lot of time, then you can basically do anything. It's just a matter of the input.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Here, let me just open it. Is character this one? Okay. So I'm just opening the little animation we did, and here is what you could. I could just share this. I'm gonna share screen one. I could just do this, right? Hopefully, let me just make sure I'm not sharing the sound. Okay, perfect. And let me mute this really quick. Sound effects. Okay, perfect. So look, I could show this character dancing like that, but instead of that, to make everything more dynamic, what I do is I show it in a couple of shots. First, I show the feet and then the character, and everything with some camera moves, right? And then if I bring that into After Effects, I'm actually going to show you, look at how this looks, right? I'm gonna show it like this. Look. Right? So
hey, Mark, I think right now you're showing an Excel document.
I was so excited. Screen one.
I was waiting for the animation in Excel. I was like, wait. Oh.
No, so all this time, damn it. Okay, I can see. Yes.
There you go.
So yeah, in here, sorry. Let me go back to here. This is the animation, sorry. This is the animation. Oops. Right? Can you see it now? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Now, from that animation, I can show this. And look, even that clip is very short. It's just like 2 seconds. But those 2 seconds, I make it even more dynamic by having some camera work like this, and then going in and then going out. And then if I bring it to After Effects and add everything else, look, now it looks like this. Right? Let me just maximize this. And now it looks way more interesting. Even though it's pretty fast, it's very dynamic. So the thing is, don't be limited to just, oh, I want like this. Like, you can do everything you want if you just tell it in more shots. Hopefully I'm not extending too much, but yeah. Okay, Joseph, hopefully that answered your question.
All good. I like the dancing accountant there. With his like, nice black tie and everything.
And then,
all right, let's go to the next one then.
yes.
We got a few here. So Kurt asks, will it work with After Effects CS6? Yeah, shouldn't be a problem, right?
I haven't tested. I don't have After Effects CS6, but there shouldn't be a problem. You should test it.
Yeah, like I have the latest version of After Effects, whatever it is
Yeah.
now.
The
Oh wait, CS6 is the older one, right?
yes,
Older
is
version.
before it was
Yeah.
Creative Cloud.
Right. So, I think it should. You'll have to
Yeah.
test it. Sorry, Kurt. I don't have CS6.
Yeah.
I don't really have that information, but as far as I know, it should work just fine because the format, the file formats are pretty universal, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem there, Kurt. And
Perfect.
if you do, I apologize, but
Yeah, it's being
shouldn't be a problem.
optimized for the CC. But
Yeah, as
yeah.
long as your codecs are updated, you should be fine.
Okay, Nick is saying that it should work in CS6. All right, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Now,
see why not.
and is there an equivalent program to After Effects? I think there are a couple of those, but for that, instead of using the plugin, you can use the plugin just so you can have everything rendered in the folders. Just let me show you really quick. I'm gonna share screen, this one. Okay, I'm sharing this, right? Hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Yes, you can see this.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. If I go to the folders to this, and then I go to where I exported, you can use that plugin just so you can have all the elements like the sequence of this and then the single image, etc., right? But you have to just put everything manually. That like having that magical transition to where you have all the elements and the camera moves and everything works with After Effects. And with any other software, you're just gonna spend like 10 minutes setting it up. But yeah, there are other software. One thing, here's what I would do if I was in your exact position, like I have no idea what to do. You just go here and then alternatives to, and then Photoshop, or in this case, After Effects. And look at that. Oops. Mr. Google always had like, okay, there's Nuke, HitFilm Pro, Fusion, Motion, Smoke. There are a lot of them, right? So yeah, you can give a try to a bunch of them.
Yeah, and Blender and HitFilm or HitFilm Express is actually free. Blender is also free. So if you're looking for cheap alternatives, that's definitely the way to go. Cool. Romain says, thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
Mark.
welcome. You're welcome.
Kai, hey, another Kai. I watched all your videos on 2D 101. Always wanted to ask what headset you're using. Yeah, I actually think the quality of your sound is quite good. And the headset is, yeah. I know I've personally asked Mark this before, but Mark, do you want to tell the attendees?
Yes, I'm going to post the exact link because I don't know exactly what I'm wearing, but I bought it from Amazon, so I can just go broadcast right here. I'm not sharing my screen, so you don't, let me get this. Okay, this one. Let me share the screen. This.
Little plug for Audio Technica.
Yes, this one. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. I just posted the link there, and it's this one. I actually also copied from another one of my mentors. She was using a headset like this, and I was like, "What are those?" And then kind of they are getting popular because people are asking for them. They're not cheap, but the quality is premium, right? So yeah,
That's actually not bad for a pair of like good headphones, right?
yeah, and one of the things that I do like from this is that I can be giving the tutorial and I can be moving around and the sound always stays with me, right? And that's especially good for me because I move a lot, like yeah. So yeah,
Very animated.
definitely the type of headphones I needed.
Yeah, just like one of those headsets for facial mocap as well.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Kai. It's weird saying Kai. I don't meet many Kais in my life.
Another Kai. Does Revolution have hold keyframes? Yes, Kai, I use that actually a lot. Let me show you this actual animation. Is I wanted to give this look. Am I showing Cartoon Animator?
Yep.
Okay. To have this look, this sense of skippiness, as you can see, it's not very fluid, and that's on purpose because it looks more jumpy. And for that, I actually used keyframes that are keyhold, right? So look, I'm going frame by frame, and then it jumps from this position to this, and then it jumps to here, and then it jumps to here, and then to there. So if I click on motion, you can see that I have only a couple of keyframes in here. And what's happening is that all I did is select all this. Let me just show you how this looks with linear, right? Look. And I don't like that. That's not the style I wanted to go for. So very easily, you can just select all of them, then click on right click, transition curve, and then what you're calling hold keyframe. That's how it's called in After Effects. In here is called step. So just select the step, and that gives you the exact effect. Probably, I don't know if that's what you're looking for or for any other practical reason, but that's how it's called, step. Yeah.
No, that's a good example. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just different naming, slightly different mechanism, but does essentially the same thing as a hold keyframe in After Effects for
and
sure.
Step makes sense, like step from here to tick, tick, tick.
Yeah. Awesome. Good naming. All right, let's go to the next one here. Oh, Cliff says, "Fantastic job, Mark. He's gonna get the course."
Yes.
There you go. You have another convert.
Woo! Okay, so in the course is the same content. In here, I just went a little bit fast. In the actual course, I just go slower and more detail. So let me just get you the link, and I'm gonna post it. Let me go to getting it here, getting it for you, and here it is. Perfect. So I'm going to post the link for any of you who want to join. It's totally free. I just posted the link, and this is the course, right? You can watch the promo, and in here is everything I explain, but going into more detail, right? This is extended to, I believe, like 2 hours, right? Okay, so that's it. Stop sharing.
Right on. Okay. That's the course for everyone who wants to learn a bit more in more detail, get into a bit more depth about what we're doing here. Mark asks, I forgot what button you hit to add a sprite in After Effects.
Like, let me see. In the lesson, because in the lesson I didn't use sprites.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mark, maybe you want to clarify a bit.
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit more or rephrase your question?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to add a sprite
is here. Just rephrase your question and we can help you.
Yeah, just put it in the Q&A again there, Mark. Sorry about that. We're not really clear. All right, next question, I guess, is for me. I bought CTA4 for myself, so I am going to bring also blah, 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 blah. But when I open the project files from my workstation in the office, it shows trial and vice versa. This also includes motions, et cetera, re-importing them as PSD. All right, that's a lot of stuff to go through there, Joseph. I think what you're talking about is the licensing for the software, installing on two separate computers. And yeah, you're able to install separately on two separate computers. Whenever you purchase one of our programs, you can install it on two computers at a time. If you want, I'm just going to go to my Reolution page here. And I'll give you a link. If you go to the main Reolution page and you go to your account, there's actually a registration area where you can change which you can kind of change which computers are using or are registered rather for your software. I'm going to throw this link in the chat window for you guys just so you all have it. Let me just close down this here. This is the link. When you log into this link, it'll allow you to see all the Reolution products you've purchased, all the Reolution software you've purchased, and change the registration from one computer to another. Just please be aware that you're only able to register for two computers at a time. So you're only able to have it installed on two separate computers at one time. But you can easily go here and change that back and forth to whatever computer you need. So hopefully that clears that up for you there, Joseph. If not, you can ask again or ask more for more clarification. Jerome asks, hi,
Lottie
is compatible with this project?
Lottie, I don't know what Lottie is. I'm just gonna Google it. Lottie.
Lottie. I'm not sure either.
I haven't. Is it a plugin? I haven't heard of it. So.
Oh, After Effects and Lottie course. I've never heard of Lottie either. Unfortunately, Lottie files.
If it's a composing software like After Effects, then it would work like on HitFilm or all the others, Fusion. You just have to bring everything together, like all the elements manually. Yeah.
I see. A Lottie is an open source animation file format that's tiny, high quality, interactive, and can be manipulated at runtime. Interesting. I'm sure our development team's already aware of this, but I'd like to look into it more myself. Lottie files. Interesting. I've never really worked with those before, but thanks for mentioning those, Jerome. I'll have to look more into detail on that. And none of us have heard of it before, actually. So
I thought it was like lottery or something.
Yeah, I thought, isn't there like some Japanese brand called like Lottie or something like that? I thought it was something like that.
Oh, anyways, it's for web development. Interesting.
Yeah, seems like it. Yeah. Right. I'll throw the link in the chat window if anyone wants to kind of explore it more. Seems interesting. I mean, I can't really plug it right now, but because I've never had any experience with it. But let's go to the next question, anyways.
Yes.
Mark Rothman, is there a quick way to lock the position so that when he jumps, he won't slowly rise before the time when you want him to jump by adding all keyframes at once?
Interesting. Okay, I do. Let me see if I understand your question correctly. Okay, slowly rise before the time when you want it by adding all the keyframes at once. So let me see if what you mean is you want to lock the position of the character before jumping. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. And then he jumps so he doesn't go slowly before the time.
I think this is just a matter of keyframe positionings as far as I can.
Yes, I believe what you're talking about is, okay, in the timeline, you want to lock the position from here to here, right? So it doesn't move. And then from here to there is the jump, which happens really fast, right? And you want to hold that position. Well, if that's the question, all I do is I just take this keyframe, copy, and paste it here. So it's the exact same position held for all this time. I hope that makes sense. And I love having my board.
Basically just copy and paste the keyframe, right? The same keyframe. As long as you copy and paste the keyframe, it's going to hold that position or hold that motion until the end of the second keyframe. So I think that's maybe hopefully what you're talking about there, Mark.
Mark. We have a Mark and we have a Kai.
Yeah, right on. We should all have a party together.
Ray Clark, Rogue Animator 2.0 release. Whew, man, here's the thing. The Rogue Animator 2.0, it's taking way more time than we expected. but we're really packaging it with a lot of time save. One of the topics, just so you know, is speed rigging in Cartoon Animator 2, because we want you to be able to create fast productions and increase the quality as much as you can. Is fast production to save you a lot of time, and then invest again a lot of time, but only to increase the value of your work, so you can charge like $1,000 for the work, etc. But it's a lot of stuff that we're going to package in there. So yeah, the Rogue Animator, I still cannot say. I can tell you my intention. I want to have it by Christmas, but I don't know if it's gonna be there. So anyway,
I always face the same problem with Reallusion products. It's like, when's this coming? When's this coming out? When's this coming out? It's
I
like,
wish it was out
dude,
there
I just work
now.
in sales and marketing and stuff. I'm not like the development team. They'll create it when they create it, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to. Oh, sorry. Joseph had a clarification. I'm using 2 software, 2 licenses. So 2 licenses you should be able to install on 4 computers, no problem. Joseph. So yeah, because every item of software will appear as a separate item on your registration backend there. So you just have to assign each item to whatever computer you need. You can always email me, kai@reallusion.com, if you need more clarification on that, or you can send me screenshots or whatnot. Okay, a question from Mark. How did you get her to stop then jump without rising from the beginning?
Okay, I'm actually opening that project again so you can see. And let me show you what this means. So what you're asking is, how did I manage to have the character go from here and then in there, stay there all this time and then jump away, right? I think that's what you're asking. Well, the secret is, again, this keyframe is the exact same as this keyframe. Those 2 are the same. Now, again, in the webinar, I went a little bit fast, but this is explained in more detail in the free course. So you can join that. And if you have any questions, you can also ask the support team, and we are there to help you. But yeah, it's just this. Look, I'm going to just remove this keyframe and look at this thing, how this is the effect that you wanted to avoid, right? Like the animation is not over yet. Let me, right, from here, and then she hasn't jumped, and then she's floating. I think that was what you were asking, right? So what I did is just take this keyframe, copy, and then paste it to a little bit before, right? So those 2 are the same keyframes, and then boom, now she jumps. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I think it's important to note there that you're using transform keyframes in the transform track. Yeah. When you see those green lines in Cartoon Animator 4, those are just changes in transform position, which is the absolute position of your character on the screen.
Yes, very good clarification. Is not the motion of the character, is the transform.
Yeah, that confuses everyone at first. There's actually 2 transform tracks. The main one is the actual position of your character's origin on the screen. And the other one is kind of to do with mostly motion key editing. So just be aware of that. There's one that's a larger transform track, has its own track, and then there's a sub track called transform under motion. Yeah, important to know that. Let's see. So that answers his question. Okay, he says he got it afterwards. So we showed him. Okay. He says he got it.
Okay.
Okay, I have Cartoon Animator 4 and purchased After Effects. Can I download and use it on an iPad Pro? After Effects on an iPad Pro? That's a that's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays out.
So, Andrea, After Effects, you cannot open it on an iPad Pro. Sorry about that. And I don't know about any compositing software. Here's what I would do. I would go to Google and then After Effects alternatives for iPad Pro, right? Probably there's some, probably there isn't any. But in any case, well, just do your best. right?
Yeah,
With
can
what
you,
you have.
you completely cannot run After Effects on an iPad, right? I've
Yeah,
never even heard of that happening.
I know for sure.
They don't have enough video.
Before, just so you know, Andrea, before I had my studio and everything, I started from zero, and I had an iPad. And because I couldn't have After Effects, that I'm talking like 5 years ago, I needed to like I just saved and bought my first laptop before I started my business, and just so I could have After Effects. So yeah, I know at least 5 years ago, and right now I still don't know if there's a compositing software like After Effects on iPad. But you can look around. Maybe someone developed it.
Movavi is like a kind of a very basic version of that. Like I mentioned, free with
I haven't
Cartoon
seen it.
Animator 4. Yeah, I haven't. I've seen it demoed. I haven't actually used it myself though. You know,
Hmm.
old school guys like us are just like After Effects. Just it's the go-to, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you know, there's a young generation coming up, and or people who you know may be wanting to save a little bit on budget in terms of that stuff. Yeah, check out Movavi. It's pretty good. I've heard glowing reviews from our staff, so I can recommend it. I mean, it's free with Cartoon Animator 4, right? Why not? Let's go to the next question. From Kai again. After creating the JSON file, can we replace the updated? Can we replace with updated into AE After Effects?
Okay, I haven't in a project that I worked recently of the dancing stuff. I actually did need to do updates. So all I did is, because it's so fast, I just did a little update in Cartoon Animator 4 and then export it again in a new folder and then import that into After Effects. But here's the thing. Let me just show you really quick. This is the export happens in here, but when you import it back to here, all you do is, let's say that you only made a little tweak on the animation of this character, right? This is a trick that you can use. Let's say that I had this ninja. Let me just go back to this. And let's say that for some reason, I'm going to just do something wacky in here. I'm going to have her go like this. Let's say that there was an artistic choice of why to do this weird stuff, right? So let's say that that was the adjustment. So all I do is export it again. Look, very easy. Just export it again, but this is going to be exported in a new folder. Export 5. And because I have all these effects and I have everything, okay, Ninja adjust, right? So you don't want to do all the effects and everything again. All I'm going to do is switch my current character for this new sequence, right? That's all I'm gonna do. So let me just wait for this. All the other ones are super fast. There you go. And then in here, I just look for that sequence, which is this one, and then go to After Effects. And actually, I don't even have to do all of that. I can just import this sequence too. Let me go back to Ninja Adjust to here. I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm going to import it again with the script right here. Ninja Adjust. It imports almost automatically. And all I do is take this one and find it, right click, and I want to find this. Do I have? Oh no, that's on Premiere Pro. Okay, let me show you how you can find all your files. I have, let me open this. I have the Ninja Adjust project and the original one. This is the one that has all the effects, right? The Ninja Run Forest. That, everything you see in here is this composition, Ninja Run Forest. And this is the one that I want to substitute it with. This is the one that has the weird jumping. So all I do is click and drag and then hold Alt, and then it's going to change this. Look, this one, oh, does it? Oh, no, okay. I can see why. Oh, okay, I need to just bring this to here. Oh, no. Okay, then let me just go back. Because the adjustment I did was transform, that effect works perfectly when you change something with the bones. So let me show you. This is, if it was bones, you just click and drag holding Alt. The problem is that we have keyframes for the position. So that wouldn't work. So let's pretend that that was the actual movement that I wanted. Okay, that is not super fast, but it's also easy. I'm just going to open Ninja Adjust. Let me close this one. Ninja Adjust. And then this is the one that has that new position. So all I do is copy from here, copy, then go to here and then paste it. I'm going to remove the shadow for this one. And then I'm just going to select this one, go to effects, select all the effects, copy, and then paste it here. And then just remove this. And with that, I have the, it's a little bit more time taking when you change the position. I actually would change the position in here because you can edit here, but I think you were talking about the animation. The thing is, you can do the quick update just like that. Alt, click and drag, right? Hopefully
I
that
actually did not
answers.
know that even before. So thanks for that, Mark. I learned
That's
something today too.
oh my god, that
That's awesome.
was that's a huge time saver for me, guys. You have no idea. I do really, so I can tell who asked the question.
I deleted it.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't memorize your name on the spot. But the thing is, if you are like me,
Oh,
we
it was
need to
Kai. It
go
was
back.
Kai.
Kai,
Yeah.
yeah, Kai. So we need to go back and then they're just this tiny. So yeah, I get you, man. Really nice.
Yeah, that's a huge time saver for sure, 100%. Like, yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, you can even do the same thing in After Effects as well, like just changing the position, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Only when it's the animation, you do it with the alt, and that's what.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Cindy here. I guess she says she was thinking of ending her CC membership, but now she's another reason to keep it going. So
Oh,
you're welcome.
okay.
You're welcome, Adobe.
Cindy, let me tell you something. Cindy and everybody else, if you're paying full price for Adobe, you should know that if you take any of our free courses, you are officially a student in 2danimation101.com, and you go to Adobe and you put it as a student of 2D Animation 101 and you get the student discount. You just need to specify for how many years you're gonna be studying with us. You can put like 4 to 5 years. You put more, it's gonna sound weird. So put like 4 years and you get the discount for the next 4 years. So yeah, Cindy, you can keep it and you can actually have it for half the price if you get the student discount.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I was actually on the student version of CC for a while, or paying the student prices rather. It's the same version when I was in grad school, and that was back when I first started at Real Illusions. That was, got a little bit of a discount there. It's nice. I mean, yeah, you're a student, right? We could all say we're students of life. Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm not saying anything like that. All right, let's go to Ray. Next question here. I know you have a lot of other projects. Just wondering, you have a Kickstarter.
Okay, yeah, Ray Clark. For the Kickstarter, that's a really ambitious project. The Art Wars. I don't want to take too much time. I'm just gonna answer in 30 seconds. Is we want to make education fun. That's our goal in life. And we're going to make all the journey of taking a course is going to feel like a video game. Instead of having a challenge, hey, you do this, you have to do some exercises in Cartoon Animator, deliver them, and that is going to help you kill monsters in the game. So yeah, that's pretty ambitious. We're working with a lot of code. It's probably going to take 1 or 2 years. But yeah, that's it.
Gamification, yeah.
Gamification.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. It's becoming more and more popular these days for sure, even in colleges and stuff. That's excellent, though. So your Kickstarter is, do you have a link for the Kickstarter you want to put in the chat, or?
Yes, it actually ended, but we were invited by Indiegogo to post our project there. So we're just doing the transition. But yeah, let me Kickstarter.
Do you reach your funding goal?
Actually, yeah, I'm proud of it. Let me just make sure. And this is the project. You can see the trailer in there. And when we have it, when we have the invitation, this one ended on May, I believe. And yeah, we actually surpassed the goal. So
That's
let
a lot
me,
of Mexican dollars or
yeah, in
pesos, I
dollars,
guess, right?
in pesos, yes. Let me see if this is how you, yes, this is the link. I just wanted to prove first. There you go. So thank you for your interest. But yeah, that's what we're working on.
Seems like you have a lot of followers in this webinar.
Yeah, thank
That's
you, Rai.
awesome. All right. Hope that answered your question there, Ray. Joseph, here's another glowing commendation. Enrolling in Mark's 2D 101 course has truly elevated my skills in the software. You can put that on your site there, under quotes from students or something.
Awesome,
Thanks for
Joseph.
that, Joseph. Awesome, and thanks, Mark, for providing that training. And that's great. Mark, previously, okay. So I think Mark, I think your issue with the animation was solved, right?
Okay, probably I was moving one bone slightly to get all the keyframes to appear.
I think he's talking about all the keyframes in like every individual like body part.
Ah, okay. Yes,
There's
yes.
actually a way. There's actually a way you can just create a keyframe with all the
Yes.
body parts. That's like default key, right?
I've been
Or sorry, yeah.
animating. I've been animating a lot, especially for the dance moves that later you're gonna see an animation on that. So let me tell you, I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Hopefully it is, but
I think he's talking about
it's
like absolute key, where you just like I think you can press in the key motion key editor. You can press default key, right? Is that
yes.
the one?
Uh,
Just
let me
add a
see.
keyframe for every body part.
Okay, if that's the case, what I do is that I have the character here. I click on motion and make sure that the keyframe that I move is the transform, because look, you say that you select a bone and then it selects that on this panel, right? And then you click on this one and it's showing the keyframes in there. The problem is that you want to add, for example, a keyframe in here, but you want it to add to everything, right? So if you want to add a keyframe for the whole body, all you do is click here, set key, and then whatever you have for the rest of the position, it sets the key for everything else, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, let me go a little bit to the side. And as you can see, right now it's setting, actually it's setting the options. I have this is the default, is adding for the full body. Let me undo. Maybe you were talking about this, right? Right now it's adding only a keyframe to this leg. So right now it's breaking and then boop, like the
Yeah, he says
only,
that's what he was looking for in the chat here. So
perfect. Okay, so
yeah,
it's this, select key options, and then from full body to select, and whenever you want, you can press set key and it says a key, actually only for that part. So I like to have on all the body parts. Okay, perfect.
yeah. So I was mixing it up a little bit with iClone there. iClone has something called default key or whatever, and yeah, but Cartoon Animator a little bit different. Yeah, that's really good. That's super useful. The set key for the specific body part, or else for the full body. Super useful if you're going to go into like customizing your animation with keyframes. 100%, you should know that. Like Andrea. Oh,
okay.
Sorry, Andrea. You can't use it on your iPad Pro.
Yes.
Or yeah,
And,
MacBook Pro's fine. Yeah, that's what MacBooks are for. I mean, MacBooks and After Effects go together like peas and carrots, right? Anyways,
that's what we were looking for. Perfect.
Yeah, Mark's what you're looking for. All right, looks like we're all done with the Q&A. That's awesome. So I think we'll end it off. As always, guys, remember to fill out that survey we're going to send out to you later on. You get a 10% discount for the content store when you fill out that survey. And I want to extend our gratitude to Mark Diaz here, coming to us all the way from Mexico. Thanks for being with us again. Hope to see you more in the future. And yeah, highly recommend Mark's 2D 101 course. As you can see, glowing reviews from people in this webinar here. If you're getting serious about 2D animation and Cartoon Animator, excellent course too. You might get too busy from this, Mark. I don't know. You might not have time to do anything else.
Well, actually, I do have a team to help with the support, and actually, one of my best is Saro. He gives even one-on-one calls to help you solve whatever problems you have. So yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Right on. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. You can review this later on YouTube. We'll also send you the link via email and everything. Any feedback you have, fill out the survey form and give us recommendations for future topics and everything. So yeah, I'll sign off and thank you again, Mark, for being with us. And everyone, adios and have a good Wednesday or Thursday,
Thank you
wherever you are in
all.
the world. Bye.
Hugs for everyone. Don't
Peace.
fight for the hugs. It's for everyone. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye bye.